What's up, fight fans? This is Kurt DeVille with Counterpunch Boxing News, and I have some new news concerning Dillian, the body snatcher Whyte. Dillian Whyte once again blasts Deontay Wilder for his latest comments, and this is what he had to say. He says, Wilder has lost his mind. Andy Ruiz would beat him. Wow. Heavyweight contender Dillian Whyte believes that the former WBC world champion Deontay Wilder has lost his mind. Wilder has been out of the ring since suffering a stoppage loss to the hands of Tyson Fury in February of 2020. In the aftermath of the loss, Wilder was very vocal with numerous allegations, including a claim that Fury may have his gloves loaded. Wilder has also terminated former co-trainer Mark Breland. He accused him of being a double agent and potentially spiking the water bottle that was used between rounds. People lose and they do crazy stuff. Why is the guy posting a picture, wine glass, candles, and random gun on the table with his shirt off, looking like he's stoned out of his mind? I was thinking, oof, hopefully he doesn't blow his own brains out, man. The guy clearly is drunk and he's high or whatever he's doing. It's mad, Whyte said on IFL TV. He also said this. He said, I know he's allowed to have guns and shoots a lot of guns, but it's weird. Maybe he's just showing people, don't worry about me, I'm living life. There has been rumors of Wilder possibly fighting former unified champion Andy Ruiz in the future. If the fight happens, Whyte is backing Ruiz to come out away with the win. He says, I think Ruiz would beat Wilder. To be honest, Wilder can't really box, and Wilder's lost his mind, man. The guy's lost his mind. I don't think he'll ever box again. His mind is completely gone, said Whyte. Gone, gone, gone. If you follow his stories and his pictures, his posts, and the things that he's been doing and saying, the guy has lost his mind. Of course, Whyte is scheduled to return to the ring March 27th when he attempts to avenge a knockout loss in a rematch with the WBC interim champion, Alexander Povetkin. Now, I'm going to stop there, okay? So it's time to counterpunch. Let me counterpunch this. Dillian Whyte saying that Deontay Wilder has lost his mind. Well, he's not the only one that thinks that. His post in general, I think his latest post where he's seen a gun on the table, that's no surprise to me. That didn't really bother me or concern me. The only thing is if we keep seeing shit like that. Yes, we know he likes to shoot guns. We know he's a gun owner. He's from the South. We all have guns down here. Okay, I have 5. I bet you Deontay Wilder has many more than I do. So it's not a big thing to see someone hold a gun on the table. It's people tote guns, people walk around with guns. You know, it's your God-given right to carry, bear arms. So I'm not worried about that. But as far as him with the wine and all that, that may be or may been a little too much. However, we don't see him post this type of shit all the time. Okay, so it's not that bad to me. Now, if we saw him doing some Charlie Sheen shit, just hanging out, getting high, and doing some Errol Spence style activity, yeah, then it's time for you to be concerned about Deontay Wilder because he may be on a wrong path somewhere. And I think at that point, someone really needs to sit down and gives a shit about him and say, hey man, look, don't do this. Let's calm down. Let's regroup. But seeing him losing his mind, so to speak, I don't think that. I think that Deontay Wilder doesn't know how to take a loss. But I don't think that that's connected to anything that he's doing right now. It's hard to tell. We haven't seen him train. We haven't seen him in the gym. We haven't seen who he's going to fight. We know that he called out Andy Ruiz, and Andy Ruiz said, I would love that fight or whatever on down the road because he has his own fight with Chris Arreola. However, at least Andy Ruiz himself has a schedule, okay? He has a scheduled fight coming. Deontay Wilder does not. That's the only thing that bothers me about that. Now, to also counterpunch what Dillian Whyte had to say about the two fighting. Listen, I tell people all the time, triangle theories don't work here, okay? And if you're talking about both fighters, sure, Andy Ruiz looks good. He looks a lot better than he did back in late 2019 when he got the biggest fight purse of his career. He looks far better than that. He's getting trimmer, leaner, like for real this time. You know, not the CG. What's the thing on? I forget the name, but damn, I had it right on the tip of my tongue. But when you get when you go to see someone and they're not who they say they are, you know, I can't remember it right to save the life of me right now. Catfished. There you go. Catfished. Right. So none of that catfish shit. He's actually showing his stomach. He's actually pulling up them big ass shirts and showing that, hey, I got some muscle under here. I got me a 2-pack working on a 4-pack. He's having that. Okay. So he looks good. His hooks look great. His hooks look crisp, sharp, to the point. I'm going to have some footage tomorrow to give you guys about the up and coming movements of Andy Ruiz. He looks good now. However, does that mean he's going to beat someone like Deontay Wilder? Why do I say that? Because Deontay Wilder fights tall. Deontay Wilder does not have an inside game, so he won't be in those situations to be in danger of. Wilder will sit back to aim and measure up his own solid right hand. Andy Ruiz to get off those combinations, he's still going to have to throw punches. And just because he beat Joshua doesn't mean he's going to beat Deontay Wilder. Just because Tyson Fury beat Deontay Wilder doesn't mean everybody in the heavyweight division is going to beat Deontay Wilder. Okay, people do that all the time. They watch a fighter lose and then they just throw him to the wolves. Oh, he ain't shit now. Everybody can beat him. That does not mean that. That is not the case. Okay? Andy Ruiz is still a short dude that still needs to get himself inside. If he can't get his ass inside, what Wilder's going to do, he's going to set up the jab and throw the right hand. And if he can hurt Andy, like the left hook of Joshua hurt Andy, okay, he can get Andy out of there. Don't be fooled. And guess what? Ta-da! Deontay Wilder will be back once again if that happens. So don't be surprised that happened. If you don't know, you've heard it first from me. That's my counterpunch. But if Andy gets Wilder hurt, though, on the other issue, if he hurts Wilder, yes, he has the combinations in the finishing touches to take Wilder out. Yes, he does. Bip, 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 bip. He does that. He has that. So don't get it twisted. Not saying that Andy can't fight. He can fight like hell. He can fight like the Dickens. But at the end of the day, he has to get close enough to Wilder to inflict that. And Wilder fights tall, okay? Now, will Wilder be shell-shocked? We have no idea. He hasn't been in the ring since last year, so we don't know anything. We don't know how Andy will do because he ain't fought since 2019, and we don't know how Deontay Wilder's going to do because he hasn't fought since 2020 of February. Okay, so it's a lot of things we don't know, and both of these guys, to be fair, needs to prove themselves. But anyway, that's my counterpunch on that. You guys tell me what you think about Dillian Whyte saying that Deontay Wilder has lost his ever-loving mind. Of course, please subscribe. And you guys been counterpunching. Peace.